Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Could Romelu Lukaku be on his way back to Stamford Bridge this summer in a sensational move back to Chelsea? The growing speculation surrounding the former Chelsea, Everton and Manchester United striker has snowballed in recent days and weeks, as a move away from Inter Milan looks quite likely to occur this summer. We'll be talking all about the Belgian striker and why he could be a perfect fit for the Blues going forward. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and found to be greatly appreciated. But for now, let's get back to talking about Romelu Lukaku, who could be on his way out of Inter Milan this summer. Currently, right now, he may be focused on the upcoming European Championships with his home country, Belgium, this summer, but there's been a lot of speculation regarding the Belgian striker's future since his current club, Inter Milan, won the Serie A title this summer. And that speculation has only been gaining more and more momentum with each passing day. And with the recent news that Inter Milan manager Antonio Conte has left Inter with mutual consent between him and the club and will be succeeded by Simone Inzaghi, it certainly has added more fuel to the fire. Lukaku was, of course, a huge factor in Inter rising to glory this summer and winning the Serie A title for the first time in 11 years. The 28-year-old scored 24 times and assisted 10 times in 36 league appearances for the club, as Inter managed to overthrow the Juventus dominance that had a tight grip on Italy's top-tier division for so many years. The record itself is fantastic this season and shows a great example of how well he has taken to the Italian league, because, let's face it, when he made it to the bigger clubs in England, he didn't quite live up to the expectation that was set before him. He first arrived in the Premier League 10 years ago, having joined Chelsea from Belgian club Anderlecht, but he didn't manage to break into the first team on the first time of asking. A season later, he went on loan to West Brom. The following season after that, he went on loan to Everton. And on both them loan spells is where he really started to find his feet within the Premier League. He then made his loan move from Chelsea to Everton a permanent move, and overall made 166 appearances for the Toffees across both his loan and permanent spells with the club at Goodison Park, scoring 87 goals overall. Before came his big money move to Manchester United. He went on to make 96 appearances for the Red Devils, scoring 42 goals for the club. But ultimately, many people didn't see him as the right fit for the club. Many people didn't see him as the right kind of player for Manchester United and what they were trying to achieve at the time. And many people ended up commenting on everything about him. Many people were commenting on things like his bad first touch, or his lack of movement, or even his work rate, and even his body weight at times. And given the incredible fee that United paid for him, which was somewhere in the region of £75 million, which could have rose to £90 million due to various add-ons and clauses within his contract. You know how transfers work these days. It certainly didn't help him in that respect, because obviously the huge transfer fee was on his shoulders. But going to Inter and being in Serie A for the past couple of years has seemingly helped him rediscover his form, redeem himself and resurrect his form somewhat. And he's seemingly in better shape and back to being his confident goal-scoring self that we have been used to seeing in the Premier League in recent years prior to obviously his time at Manchester United, which is why there's been numerous reports of interest in his services, particularly from one Premier League club in particular. This summer, the transfer window is open once again, and it does seem that the trend in this window is strikers. Strikers seem to be in high demand this transfer window across a lot of clubs. But the one name in particular that keeps cropping up with being linked with Lukaku's name is Chelsea, as they are strongly linked with the 28-year-old, with a return to Stamford Bridge seemingly being on the cards for the Belgian striker. From Chelsea's point of view, the signing of Timo Werner hasn't quite worked out so far. Thomas Tuchel doesn't seem to trust Tammy Abraham either, and could be a reason why he is set to leave Stamford Bridge this transfer window, whilst Olivier Giroud isn't getting any younger, and whilst he does remain a very good squad player to have, it's Werner that was set to be the main guy up front scoring the goals for the Blues, but as we know, it hasn't exactly worked out during his first season in the Premier League with Chelsea. The German does create a lot of problems for defences. His pace and his movement are a nightmare for defences to handle and to contain, but well, it turns out that it's his final ball and his lethal finishing that appear to go missing when it really matters most. And, you know, those are two areas that for strikers are very key to whether you're a top tier striker or just another mediocre striker in the making. But in Lukaku's case, they are two areas where he has made significant progress in improvement over the past couple of years. Lukaku has many strengths to his style of play. One, of course, in particular, is his huge strength and hold-up play. That is, of course, clear and evident for everybody to see. He's big, he's powerful, he's strong, he's deceptively quick, and of course has a real aerial presence about him, and very much is an all and well-rounded top striker capable of scoring all types of goals. And given how Chelsea have now a proper squad behind him, they've had a proper squad in the making, in the building for the past couple of years now, they are capable of attacking in different areas, attacking in different ways, attacking in different styles, and it certainly can play to all of Lukaku's strengths, whether it's ball to feet, whether it's hitting him as a target man, him holding the ball up and then bringing others into play, whether it's the use of his pace in behind defences, or even the use of his aerial ability from crosses from out wide positions. Chelsea's current squad have the capability of doing it all, and Lukaku has the possibility of being the final product to everything in the making for Chelsea within their squad right now. He, of course, can be a major factor in Chelsea going back to challenging for major titles again. Of course, Chelsea coming fresh off of a Champions League triumph this past weekend. But Chelsea, of course, can build on that. They can go for more Champions League titles. They can go for more Premier League titles in the long run. And Lukaku can be, obviously, a vocal point of that. He can be a major factor in them doing that for the long term, and of course for the short term they can obviously get back to challenging the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, so on and so forth, in reclaiming another Premier League crown. And personally, for all them reasons, I gotta say that I think this will be a huge transfer for Chelsea to pull off, a very positive transfer for Chelsea to pull off, a key piece of the Chelsea puzzle, it seems, if things obviously turn out well for both him and the club. And it could have a very positive impact on the rest of the team as well, including for a guy like Timo Werner. Of course, Werner was brought in as the main striker, but bringing in another striker, people think often could harm him. I still hold out hope that Werner can turn his form around going into next season. Maybe he could be turned more into a left winger, perhaps. Maybe he could modify his position somewhat in that sense. Because, like I say, he does scare defences, he does cause problems. His pace, his speed, his movement are all things that defenders would hate to play against. But it's just his finishing that ultimately lets him down, and has done so time and time again throughout this current season. There's plenty of examples of Werner missing very easy chances, some would say. But he does create problems, and he does persist, and he does go throughout the entirety of the game. But maybe becoming more of a winger, maybe having a guy with the presence and the mindset and the confidence and the cool finishing of Lukaku alongside him may help him. Bit more experience, like I say, because he too has been through what Werner is currently going through as well, so maybe he could help him in that aspect as well. maybe this will be a good thing for everybody at the club, and especially for a guy like Timo Werner, should, of course, Lukaku return to Stamford Bridge this summer. And, of course, like I say, it'll be a great thing for Chelsea overall. It'll be a major a statement made in terms of Chelsea mean real business for next season in challenging for the Premier League title, because that has to be the next goal for this club, getting back on top of England's top tier division. As of right now, this appears to be only interest. There has seemingly been no formal approach made by Chelsea or any other club for that matter as of right now, because allegedly there are rumours that Chelsea aren't the only club interested in securing the signature of Romelu Lukaku. There are supposedly other clubs that are rumoured to be interested, including Manchester City, who I personally believe should be definitely after a striker. There are rumours that Pep Guardiola is looking into his striking options, but that remains to be seen on that. But we do know for sure that Chelsea are definitely interested in securing Lukaku this summer. And let's face it, if Inter and Antonio Conte parted ways supposedly over financial matters because Inter want to cut costs and save money, and Conte wasn't prepared to be willing to work within those guidelines of getting rid of some of maybe his key and best players, so he decided to split and part ways, then a deal here isn't out the realms of possibility. If the money is right, of course, any deal could be possible, but if Inter are willing to sell to try and save money and cut costs wherever they can, this could definitely leave the door wide open for Lukaku's departure from Inter this summer. And of course, should Lukaku have his head completely turned and fancy a return to the Premier League or anywhere else for that matter, then of course that will widen the door even more. Obviously, things can happen very quickly. Like I say, Lukaku is currently probably right now focused on trying to or wanting to win the European Championships that are upcoming this summer with Belgium. So I'm sure he's focused on that. But of course, the question mark does remain over his future, his long-term plans. The future of the 28-year-old will certainly be a talking point during and after the upcoming tournament, should his future remain undecided before the championship kicks off. But only time will tell where Romelu Lukaku will end up for next season. But of course, as I always say, these are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Romelu Lukaku during his time with Inter Milan? What do you make of his future? Do you see him going to Chelsea? Could another club be waiting in the wings to strike up a deal with him and he could go there instead? I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, on the future of Romelu Lukaku. I'm sure they'll all make for interesting reading down in the comments section below. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and probably greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video.